Plenty of action going on earlier today. Green Bay falling in Minnesota as Randy Moss had 8 catches, 153 yards and a touchdown. Atlanta, Chris Chandler out in this one with a sprained ankle and knee, but they're ahead of Chicago. It is Indianapolis over Buffalo, or Buffalo over Indianapolis, and you see the rest of these scores. How about Troy Aikman today? 296 yards and 2 touchdowns. That one's still going as Dallas has an 8-point lead. Giants blanking Philadelphia, Detroit, and Tampa Bay. A good one going on there. We hope to have a good one for you here this afternoon. The Rams have won the toss and elected to receive. John Casey will be kicking it deep to Tony Horn. It's been a while since the Rams have been able to bring one back. Almost a decade.
And this team has been a slow starting team, Ray. Nothing would get the crowd on their feet and into this game quicker than a good kickoff return.
And we are underway. Tony Horn from the 4-yard line. Horn runs into Casey, the kicker, at the 29-yard line. A 25-yard return. Let's take a look at this Rams offense, ranked 22nd in the NFL, led by the man you just saw, quarterback Tony Banks. Banks hasn't been too bad the last 3 weeks, but only one of those a win. Up front, Pace, Miller, Flannery, Wiegert, and Wayne Gandy. The backs and receivers, Gerald Moore and Derek Harris in the backfield. Ricky Prohl and Oz Zahir Hakim making his first start. Roland Williams, the tight end. Williams and Hakim, a couple of rookies in this lineup. Injuries have hurt St. Louis. Gerald Moore off the right side. He'll pick up 2 on first down. Brought down by Brent Alexander. Let's take a look at this Carolina defense, ranked 29th in the NFL. Up front, Gilbert, Miller, and Jason Peter. Les Miller getting his first start at nose tackle. The linebackers, a good group. Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green on the outside. Barrow and Brady in the middle. Lofton and Davis are the corners. Alexander and rookie Damian Richardson are the safeties. Moore the single back on 2nd down and 8. He'll take to the right side. The penetration stops him for a loss. Les Miller shot through, and Jeff Brady made the tackle.
All right, I think that the Rams have struggled this year because the offensive line, like we said in the open, has been inconsistent. And you see right there, Zach Wiegert has missed time. Wayne Gandy, who has been really the pillar here of this line the last couple of years, played very poorly last week. They're happy to get their left guard, Fred Miller, back in the lineup and try to get back some consistency that they had 2 weeks ago against Chicago.
3rd and 9. Banks will go from the gun. He throws it over the middle. Hooks up with J.T. Thomas for a pickup of 17, and Tony Banks hooks up on his first pass. They also took a shot.
Yeah, Banks gets up limping, and he's been a very durable quarterback here. You're going to see him right at the end. They go max protection here. They keep the tailback in. Right here down in the bottom there on the left foot. You're going to see guys crawling. That's Les Miller, who makes his first start at nose tackle today. Down around Tony Banks' legs.
Les was Moore. 1st down and 10. Harris in motion. This will be Gerald Moore. Gerald Moore fights for 1 yard. Greg Lloyd rests him down. And this really is the key for this Rams team to try and get something going on the ground. Last year in the season finale, Gerald Moore had a career-high 113 yards against this Carolina offense.
Yeah, Banks is really limping, and that's the backup, Steve Bono. Behind him is Kurt Warner. And Bono still looking for some action here this season.
2nd and 9. And they'll run it up the middle again with Gerald Moore. Moore is met by Mike Barrow. He drags Barrow for 3. I was talking to somebody, and they said they wanted the Rams to put Bono in at quarterback.
Bono, like, you know, the lead singer.
Right.
Come in there and strike up the band here, get things started. That man there, Gerald Moore, his career high was in that last game against Carolina last year. That 113 yards, and coming into the season, Dick Vermeil believed that he could be a starting tailback for this team, and he started the first game of the season against the Saints here, and he fumbled 3 times. His confidence was shattered.
The Rams 1 for 1 on 3rd downs. 3rd and 5. Tony Banks with time. Now it breaks down. And Banks throws it away, and a flag comes out. Ernest Jones was all over him.
Yeah, he's grabbing that ankle there, Ray, too, and he got pulled out of his shoe, but that foot isn't right because Tony Banks scrambling on that play was hobbling.
And now that shoe is half off.
Yeah, and Tony Banks needs his legs to be effective because he's not that comfortable in the pocket. He likes to move around a lot.
Number 12, offense. It's also a loss of down.
Intentional grounding.
4th down.
Banks didn't get the ball up to the line of scrimmage. Now, I think he was out of that tight end to tight end box, but he didn't get it up to the line of scrimmage. That's the penalty.
Yeah, and Ernest Jones is a guy they just picked up a couple weeks ago that was able to get to Tony Banks. He can't even get off the field.
Rick Tootin will come on. Winslow Oliver is deep for the Panthers. High spiraling kick from Tootin. Oliver takes it on his 17 and is nailed at the 19. Just a return of 2 yards. London Fletcher got him after a 46-yard punt. Carolina will have the football. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
Tony Banks on the trainer's table on the sidelines, took 2 shots to the right ankle. He's got about 6 medical personnel surrounding him, seeing if they can get Tony Banks back into this ball game.
And he's been a real durable guy throughout his career here in the 3 years.
1st and 10 for Carolina from the 19. Beuerlein hands it off to Fred Lane. Lane for 2 off the left side. Let's take a look at your Carolina Panthers offense, ranked 19th in the NFL, but 6th in passing. This quarterback Steve Beuerlein league in completion percentage. Offensive line, Brockermeyer, Garcia, Stoltenberg, Matt Campbell, and Norberto Davids-Garrido. The backs, Fred Lane and William Floyd. The receivers, Muhsin Muhammad, Raheem Ismail, and Wesley Walls, the tight end, and we'll also see Tamunga Biaka-Batuka in that backfield today. On 2nd and 7, this is Muhsin Muhammad. Picks up 6 yards. Let's take a look at the St. Louis Rams defense. Led up front by Kevin Carter, DeMarco Farr, Ray Agnew having a nice year, and Mike David Jones. The linebackers, Eric Hill in the middle, made that last tackle. Pfeiffer and Jones on the outsides. The secondary, Ryan McNeil and Todd Light, a couple of good corners. Keith Lyle and Billy Jenkins are the safeties. Bring up a 3rd down and 1. And the blitz comes. Beuerlein with time tries to drill it into the rocket. Todd Light bats it away.
Yeah, and that shows you the type of confidence that Carolina has had in that non-existent running game. The worst running attack in the league, averaging almost 71 yards a game, and on 3rd and 1 they elect to go to the air, and good coverage by Todd Light.
Ken Walter looking to hang this one up. He's an excellent hang time punter. You look for about 4.0 seconds. That's a cutoff for between a good punt and a bad one. Walter gets it up. Kennison will take the fair catch at the 34-yard line. Exactly 4.0, a 38-yard punt from Ken Walter. We'll see if Tony Banks comes back when we come back. And Gerald Moore recovers. A fortunate play for the St. Louis Rams as Sean Gilbert sacked Banks and knocked the ball loose.
And Tony Banks' lack of mobility right now will be seen. This is a short 3-step drop right here. You see Sean Gilbert coming in there right over Orlando Pace, who gave up 3 sacks last week and already off to a bad start here against Sean Gilbert today.
That was Gilbert's 3rd sack, his 1st since week 2.
Hey, watch him cross.
2nd and 15. Gerald Moore off to the right side. Jeff Brady stops him after a gain of 1. To show you what happened to Tony Banks in the first series.
Well, the first play, he gets hit by nose tackle Les Miller. And you're going to see right here, that left foot was bothered. And then Ernest Jones rushing from the outside, number 59, pulls him back down, and the leg gets trapped underneath him. And Tony is really hurting. He's got the foot spatted, trying to give it a little extra protection right now. He's a guy that relies on his legs for mobility.
3rd and 13. Henley and Lee in the backfield with Banks. 4-man rush from the Panthers. This is Henley. And Henley will be short of the first down up to the 39-yard line where Eric Davis runs him out. Tony Banks is limping.
Yeah, and Tony Banks right now needs to have an offensive line that is airtight, you know, and a wall in front of him, because he is not going to be able to elude any defenders today like he normally can.
Rick Tootin in to punt for the 2nd time this afternoon. His first one, a 42-yarder. Winslow Oliver at his own 16. And Tootin launches this one. Sends Oliver back to the 11. And Oliver has got a lot of room on the right sideline. All the way out to the 46-yard line by Winslow Oliver. Jeff Robinson got him down, but it was a 33-yard return. The Panthers will have good field position. They're banging on Banks. In just 4 passes, he's already been knocked down a couple of times, 2 sacks, 3 hurries, and now he's getting his right ankle taped up after he had the left ankle taped up.
Yeah, he's got 2 ankles too. You know, I mean, 2 ankles over here that are really bruised up.
Fred Lane in the backfield, 2 tight ends in the set for Carolina. They'll run it up the middle lane. Gets past midfield, picks up 7 yards. Roman Pfeiffer brings him down.
And I think that the key to this offensive line is to play at center. Right there, Brian Stoltenberg in the middle, you know, has been a guy that they picked up from the Giants off waivers right at the start of the season. And he got it thrown in there early, and he struggled a little bit. And he struggled last week against New Orleans as their nose tackle, Leroy Glover, really ate him up. And that last play, Lane was able to cut right behind him. Stoltenberg did a good job on DeMarco Farr.
2nd and 4. This will be Fred Lane. Lane with a hop step, gets first down yardage. All the way down to the 42-yard line of the Rams. That front is doing not too bad here in the 2nd drive.
Yeah, and the Rams are trying to take away the run. Right here, they're in a bear defense. Right here is Ray Agnew going up against Stoltenberg. That's man on man in the middle. You see, and there's just so many bodies inside there. Lane does a good job of trying to find a crack right behind the left guard, Frank Garcia.
Stoltenberg, the 3rd center to start for Carolina this season. First down and 10 yards. Floyd in motion. Beuerlein to throw. Dumps it underneath to the Rocket. Ishmael is lassoed down by Todd Light after a pickup of 5 yards.
And now the Rams are trying to take away the run. So they're stacking the line of scrimmage with 8 men. They're in a bear defense, popularized by Buddy Ryan. All inside guys are covered. Right there, Stoltenberg fighting Ray Agnew, who's had a very good job so far since he got here. Mark, right there, Rocket Ismail, who's having his best season ever. Just trying to find the open spot in the zone right there against Todd Light.
48 catches on the year for the Rocket as Wesley Walls goes in tight ends, a 2-tight formation. Beuerlein throws the slant to Masin Muhammad. Muhammad up to the 30-yard line before he is brought down. Roman Pfeiffer and Ryan McNeil in on the stop.
Gil Haskell came from the Green Bay Packers and instilled this West Coast offense with the Carolina Panthers. And they haven't had any trouble throwing the football this year. Now, their problems have been on 3rd down conversions and making the big play in the red zone when they need to. Right here is Gil Haskell. Came from Green Bay, and Steve Beuerlein buys into this offense, and the wide receivers, Rocket Ismail, probably the most improved player on this team, has really bought into the offense.
1st and 10 from the 31. Beuerlein gives it to Fred Lane. Lane up the middle again for 9. Brought down by Keith Lyle and Billy Jenkins.
Well, Fred Lane got replaced last week by Tamanga Biakabatuko. And I think Fred Lane took that personally. And he looks like he's running with a real purpose right here. This is just going to be a cutback play. Going to take it right behind the fullback there, William Floyd, who does a good job blocking on Eric Hill. And Fred Lane, again, with good vision, taking that ball into the line and then making his cut.
Fred Lane, 4 carries and 23 yards. Joe Phillips checks in for DeMarco Farr in the middle of that St. Louis line as Lane takes it outside for no gain. Billy Jenkins came up and put one on him. And Billy Jenkins will do that to you.
Yeah, Billy Jenkins, you know, and is a guy that has gotten an opportunity to play because of an injury to Toby Wright. And he started the last 2 games of the season last year. And that momentum and the confidence that he had 17 tackles against the Bears. And, you know, it's carried over into the offseason, into this season. You know, and talking to outside linebacker Mike Jones, he said, who played with Ronnie Lott in Oakland with the Raiders, said that Billy Jenkins reminds of him a lot of Ronnie Lott.
Jenkins averaging 10 tackles each game over the last 4. Beuerlein dumps it off to the Rocket. Ishmael up inside the 10-yard line to the 9 before Roman Pfeiffer catches up to him. A gain of 10.
And Beuerlein sees the field now because he was looking right for check down number 1, number 2, and then he was able to find Rocket in the middle, in the zone. And Rocket's a guy whose toughness was questioned throughout his career before he got here. You're going to see Rocket right here. He's just going to go and sit down in the zone, just let things clear out. And Beuerlein lets everybody take their routes and finds the open man there. It's just pitch and catch.
First down and goal from the 9. And it'll be a timeout taken by the Carolina Panthers. They are knocking on the door.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By Circuit City, answers in every department. Low prices all over the store. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Adidas.
Tony Banks heading in to get x-rays on each of his ankles. The Carolina Panthers trying to head into the end zone. 8th play of this drive. First and goal from the 9. Lane and Floyd in the backfield. This will be Lane fighting his way up to the 6-yard line before he is pushed back.
Now, the Rams have struggled in the first quarter, both offensively and defensively here. Outscored 90-17 in the first 10 games of the season. You know, that 90 points allowed, worst in the NFL. And I was talking to John Bunning, the defensive coordinator, before the game down the field, and I said, what is it? Why doesn't this team come out of the tunnel ready to play? And, you know, it's just something they keep scratching their head with. They're not really sure. They don't make any adjustments, really, after they get beat early. They just play better.
Second and goal from the 6. Nobody in the backfield. Beuerlein looks for his tight end, Walls. It'll be Wesley Walls inside the 5-yard line. Coverage from Jenkins.
Now, Wesley Walls is a guy that, you know, has complained about not getting the ball enough. So last week, Beuerlein got it to him 8 times. Right here at the tight end position. Just going to run just a quick out route, being well covered by Eric Hill along with Mike Jones. But Beuerlein, you know, putting the ball right in there, and Walls is a big target. You know, and talking to Steve Beuerlein about Walls, who played with Jay Novacek in Dallas, said he reminds him a lot of Novacek. Doesn't run quite as well, but is a more physical player.
Walls has gone 6 games without a touchdown. He's usually a touchdown man for this Carolina team. Third and goal from the 1. Beuerlein with time. Into the end zone. He's got Walls for that touchdown. Wesley Walls gets the Panthers on the board.
Nice call, Ray.
Thank you.
Nice call. Yeah, he had 16 touchdowns the last 2 seasons. It got him into the Pro Bowls, both in '96 and '97. And Beuerlein was really patient on Walls because he wasn't open early. You're going to see him now. He gets knocked off right here. And there's Keith Lyle running with him and grabbing him the whole way. But like I said, Walls is a big target, and a big body was able to shield Lyle away from him. And Beuerlein was patient with the perfect throw.
John Casey on to try to add the extra point. And he does. And with 1 minute and 56 seconds left in the first quarter, Carolina jumps out to a 7-0 lead.
And here's the touchdown pass to Wesley Walls. Notice one-on-one coverage all over here. Keith Lyle right here on Wesley Walls, but Eric Hill in the middle winds a little too much, and he isn't in this passing lane when Walls comes over the middle. He could have possibly been in this lane back over here, but all the action was going that way, and it took Eric Hill out of that passing lane, and Beuerlein found Walls for his 3rd touchdown catch of the season.
A 10-play, 54-yard drive for Carolina. Ate up 6 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock. Casey to kick it deep to Tony Horn. Horn from a yard deep. Horn brings it out to the 28-yard line, a 29-yard return before Tony Veland is able to bring him down. And we have a new quarterback in the game. Steve Bono will take over for the injured Tony Banks. Bono just 1 for 1 for 7 yards this season. Wesley Walls is getting a little attention. The left knee.
And a crowd here into it for Steve Bono coming into the game for Tony Banks. The guy that has been the ire of these Ram fans now. Tony Banks, that is, for the last couple of seasons.
First down and 10 for the veteran Steve Bono. He'll go play action. Look out, the corner blitz coming. Steve Lofton came after him and knocked this one away, incomplete.
Yeah, and right away, Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, came right after Steve Bono. Came with a blindsided blitz off of the corner. And Lofton just got there in the nick of time. You're going to see number 29 coming into the picture here. Bono never sees him, he never feels him. He gets right on the throwing arm and knocks that ball out of Bono's hands.
Second down and 10. Gerald Moore cuts back. Brent Alexander stops him after a pickup of 3 yards.
The Rams have been struggling at running back. Just not the number of yards, the number of carries, but trying to find a running back. And Dick Vermeil's tenure here, he's gone through 6 starting tailbacks. Lawrence Phillips was, the first guy he brought in, gave him a long look. Couldn't get it done. They've had Harold Green. They've had a lot of other guys here, June Henley and Amp Lee, but right now, Moore is their guy.
Third down, and the flags come out as the whistle blows. Johnny Greer is our referee this afternoon.
Ball start prior to the snap. Number 70, offense. Still third down.
Wayne Gandy had 3 penalties last week. Starts out with 1 here in the first quarter today. Here's the revolving running backs you were talking about, Brian.
Yeah, there's 6 of them. And this guy right here, Greg Hill, he started 2 games for him this year. He's still their leading rusher on this football team.
That's amazing.
This is 7 weeks later, Ray. He's still this. He's with a broken leg. He's still on crutches, and he's still their leading rusher.
Penalty puts it at third down and 12. Steve Bono drops the snap. The ball is loose. Kevin Green got on it. Carolina football at the 15.
St. Louis, they can't get out of their own way right here. John Flannery's the center. Steve Bono taking a shotgun snap right here. Just a little slow, but Bono looking downfield, had his eye off the ball and didn't have a feel for it. And now the ball gets kicked around. And Kevin Green there, coming off the edge, able to come up with that fumble.
Green wanted to pick that up and go with it. He wanted another touchdown.
Yeah, well, he had an interception last week, his 2nd of the season, and he's enjoying, these freebies. And the Rams made it easy right there.
That's a big play for the defense for the Carolina Panthers. They go 1st and 10. Fred Lane up the middle. Squeezes out 3 yards before Eric Hill and Jay Williams get him down. October 13th, 1996, the Rams at the Panthers. Kevin Green, 66 yards, goes for the touchdown. He's got 3 in his career. Carolina went on to roll 45-13 in that ball game.
Yeah, so he does know what to do with the ball when he does get it in his hands. And he looks like a fullback there.
Every linebacker knows what to do with the ball when they get it, that's for sure. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Panthers 7, the Rams nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. There's a big splash ready to happen.
That's the Waterboy. That's Bobby Boucher from Waterboy right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. 2nd and 7 for Carolina. Beuerlein over the middle. This will be another touchdown. Wesley Walls again, number 2 on the day for Wesley Walls. A 12-yarder from Steve Beuerlein. And the Panthers are beginning to roll. 13-0, extra point waiting.
Yeah, and Walls is happy. He's happy because he's been complaining about them not getting the ball in these situations. And he said, what am I here for? And I've been to the Pro Bowl 2 years in a row because you've been able to count on me down here inside the red zone. And 2 times now, Beuerlein has been able to find them. And right there, great timing between the 2.
Walls had 2 touchdowns coming into today's action. 2 already here this afternoon. Casey to add the extra point, and he does.
The extra point is good to score. The Panthers.
Carolina jumps out, scoring on the first play of the second quarter to take a 14-0 lead over the Rams.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By First Union, your guide to the financial world. By Taco Bell. And by Energizer Advanced Formula Battery. No battery lasts longer.
The big fumble recovery by Kevin Green leads to a 15-yard drive on 2 plays. A scoring pass, a 13-yarder to Wesley Walls. Those 2 touchdowns ties a career high for Walls. And this one will bounce out of bounds, and it'll be a touchback. Let's take another look at that touchdown.
You can see a crossing route here between Musa Muhammad right here and Walls right here, and they're going to verge right behind the referee here in the middle. And Mike Jones, who's covering Walls one-on-one, gets picked on the play. Right there. 2 receivers in the same spot isn't supposed to happen, but it works out perfectly for the Panthers. You're going to see coming across the middle right here, Mike Jones gets picked by Muhammad, and he was complaining about it, saying, you know, I got interfered with on the ball, but you know, if you're looking at that from up top, Dom Capers will take it.
You bet you will. A nice job of Muhsin Muhammad avoiding Wesley Walls. On first down, Bono throws it to Ty.J. Armstrong. Armstrong picks up 6 yards. Steve Bono 1 for 2 on the afternoon.
They'd only thrown 1 pass coming into today's game, Ray, and his rust has shown. And you know, he finds his tight end there, Ty.J. Armstrong, only his 2nd catch of the season. New quarterbacks find different targets.
2nd down and 4. High formation for the Rams. They'll run it up with Gerald Moore. And Moore runs into Jeff Brady. Let's go to the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles and Joe Buck. Joe?
All right, Ray, in Washington, down 31-0 at the half. The Redskins trailed by only 3 with just over a minute left. Comeback effort ended with his Kwame Lassiter interception. The Cards are now 6-5 and in the driver's seat for that 3rd wild card spot in the NFC. Back to St. Louis, Ray and Brian.
You've had some shootouts between those 2 teams in 2 of the last 3 weeks.
They go at it. 3rd down and 3. Isaac Bruce watching, missing his 6th game with a hamstring injury. The blitz comes from Carolina, and Bono just throws it away, and there is a flag thrown in late and around the 40-yard line. Pass intended for Eddie Kennison. This is in the defensive backfield. There's another flag in the offensive backfield. Johnny Greer will have to figure out which one's which.
And all this coming on 3rd and 5, and the Rams just trying to get a drive started by getting a 1st down.
Illegal contact. Number 22, defense. Intentional grounding on the quarterback. The penalty's offset, still 3rd down.
Yeah, that's the 5 and 15 rule. They cancel each other out. They'll replay the 3rd down, no loss of down or yardage. You're going to see Steve Bono right here. The rule is intentional grounding. You're inside the pocket here, and you're just throwing that ball away to get away from that rusher, Kevin Green. Inside, right between the 2 tackles. You know, that's intentional grounding.
No receiver in the area at all. So we'll redo it. 3rd down and 3.
Now, the holding was on the nickelback, Lenny McGill.
The Rams 1 for 4 on 3rd downs. They'll waggle it outside. Bono on the run, overthrows J.T. Thomas. Incomplete, brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, and the Panthers are showing some new things on defense. They went to a bear look right there on that last play, and they blitzed the middle linebacker right here. You see Michael Barrow coming right between Flannery and Uyghur. Gerald Moore trying to get over there, but it chases Bono out of the pocket. Uncomfortable throwing to his left.
Rick Tootin will come and kick it to Winslow Oliver. Oliver brought the last one back 35 yards, putting Carolina in excellent field position. Tootin drives this one. Oliver all the way back to his 19. He'll get up to the 31-yard line before London Fletcher gets him down. A 55-yard punt, an 11-yard return for Winslow Oliver. Tamunga Biakabatuka checks into the lineup for the Carolina Panthers. Saw his first action last week, had 8 carries for 38 yards. They want to give this guy a chance to either prove it here or elsewhere, because he's a free agent at the end of the season.
He was the #1 pick in 1996, and he tore up his knee that year, and it's been rehabilitating ever since, but he looked fresh last week, and he really bounced a couple plays to the outside, was able to turn the corner, and looked like the guy that they drafted in '96.
1st and 10. Biakabatuka motions to the right. Beuerlein to throw. Over the middle, he's got Walls again. Wesley Walls up to the 49-yard line, a pickup of 18. Wesley Walls, his 3rd catch of the day, 4th catch of the day.
You know, Wesley Walls in the first 4 games of Kerry Collins at quarterback only caught 7 passes. But in the last 6 weeks with Steve Beuerlein, he's caught 24, and now he's an instrumental part of this offense. And Beuerlein has found a way to include Walls, who's hobbling off the field. And, you know, they were looking at that knee earlier. Ray, we saw the trainer over there, so we'll take another look at that.
Luther Broughton will play tight end while Walls is out. This will be William Floyd on the draw. Floyd for 2 yards into Ram territory. Oh, we got a good one coming up this Thursday. Spend Thanksgiving Day with Fox as the 10-1 Vikings, led by the rejuvenated Randall Cunningham, will fly into Dallas to take on Troy, Emmett, Dion, and the rest of the Cowboys. It's a Turkey Day special this Thursday on Fox. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, right here on Fox.
Now, how much turkey are you going to have in you with you, Ray, when you sit down to watch that matchup?
I'm going to be taking me a nice little nap in front of the tube, and
yeah,
you know how that goes. 2nd down and 8. Biakabatuka motions out of the backfield. The Rocket catches the slant in front of Ryan McNeil, close to a 1st down at the 40-yard line. Now, you played in this classic matchup way back in 1987. This was you.
Yeah, I played for Dallas in that overtime loss to Minnesota, and the frustrating thing about that was, if we win on Thanksgiving in Dallas under Tom Landry, we had the next 3 days off. Well, we had to come in for practice the next day, and nobody was too happy about that. We were really struggling during that year.
This should be a great one, maybe a preview of a playoff battle to come up later on in January. 1st down and 10. Beuerlein to Biakabatuka. He slams his way up the middle for 9 yards.
Yeah, this West Coast offense, Ray, really is designed for short, high percentage passes, and we really want to try and spread the field and then establish the run. And today, I think Carolina is doing that. You know, I think Beuerlein has been razor sharp. He's been finding the open receiver, and now I think Lane and Biakabatuka are finding some room in those lanes.
Beuerlein has been razor sharp, 9 of 10 on the day for 75 yards and a pair of touchdowns to Wesley Walls. 2nd down and 2. Beuerlein looking out for for William Floyd. Floyd is going to lose yards. Billy Jenkins, instant coverage, a loss of 1.
Yeah, and that's Carolina now. I was just talking about, you know, they think that passing game is like running a football. It's that high percentage, but they're on 2nd and 2. They opt to throw the ball to Floyd. They're going to get a spot here where they're going to lose yardage on that play.
Well, they changed the spot, and it'll actually be no gain. It'll remain 3rd down and 2. Let's not quibble. We'll call it 3.
Capers wants it 2. And right there, Mike Jones right there, you know, looking to the sidelines, you know, looking for, you know, some kind of signal here and what they're doing. He's still looking for the sideline, is what the defense is.
And Beuerlein is running out of time on the play clock. And he's going to be happy just to take a timeout, the second timeout used by Carolina. They'll have a 3rd down and 3 when we come back. Also a 14-0 lead. Ray Bentley and Brian Baldinger with you in the Trans World Dome, where it has been all Carolina so far in the first half of this contest. Wesley Walls with a couple of touchdown receptions, but he's out of this one. They looked at his knee earlier, and he checked out during this series.
Yeah, so he's been hobbled. He's hobbling here. He was able to get into the end zone on 2 occasions, but he looks pretty unsure of himself. And here, on a very key 3rd down, the Panthers go to a spread formation. And for the Rams, you know, I mean, they got to make a stop here on 3rd down, and they got to knock Carolina out here. It's something they haven't been able to do.
Anthony Johnson checks into the backfield for Steve Beuerlein with the 3 wide receiver setup. Ishmael in motion. They'll dump it out to Ishmael. He'll get a 1st down. He shakes Todd Light, gets up to the 21-yard line before Billy Jenkins can force him out of bounds. A pickup of 12.
Well, Gil Haskell running this offense for Carolina is really using a lot of formations here today to confuse the St. Louis Rams. The Rams went after him with the bear look, meaning they covered the inside people, the inside 2 guards at center. And then they came after him with the blitz, and Beuerlein read it perfectly. Found the open man, and the key there is he got the ball to Ishmael without him having to turn around for the ball. He was able to turn upfield as soon as he caught it.
Wesley Walls back in the lineup at tight end. 1st and 10 from the 20. This is Biaka Batuka. Pickup of 5. Mike D. Jones wraps him up.
Yeah, I was talking to Tamanga yesterday, Ray. You know, he said it just felt good last week to play and get hit. You know, it's been almost a year. You know, the Dallas game last year in December was the last time he played. You know, and he said that his timing felt good. You know, he felt like he was in sync with the offense, in sync with the offensive line, and it showed.
2nd down and 5. Biaka Batuka in the backfield behind Floyd. And he'll take it off to the right side, but the blitz is on. He'll lose 4. Billy Jenkins shoots through on the safety blitz. Ray Agnew also in the Panther backfield.
The Rams are not able to beat the Panthers right now with the straight defense, so they've got to come after with the blitz. And you can see Billy Jenkins walking up to the safety position, you know, and times that blitz perfectly. And that's the key to a good blitz, is the timing of it. You know, I mean, they didn't give a chance right there for Steve Beuerlein to get out of that play when he saw Jenkins come.
With the loss, it is 3rd down and 8. Anthony Johnson in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Beuerlein pointing out protection as the play clock winds down. He'll get it away. Goes it outside to the Rocket. Ishmael short of the 1st down. Dexter McCleon came up with a big hit.
Yeah, you're going to see up at the top, Rocket Ishmael right here. A lot of room, but this is the key spot right there. Don't give him the 1st down. McCleon played that perfectly. He baited Ishmael to come in there, and then he made the tackle in front of the down marker, forcing the field goal attempt here.
A 30-yard attempt from John Casey. Ken Walter, the holder, the punter. We've got movement. We've got flags.
If this is against the Rams here, I mean, this is...
It'll be a critical error.
That's right.
Because it'll provide them with a 1st down and goal.
Now, who moved first here and who drew who?
We have a false start. Illegal snap on the center. Still 4th down.
And that center that they brought in is Danny Villa. And they've had trouble at the special team snap position. They've used 4 of them this year. Danny Villa was sweeping chimneys in Boston,
sweep, right,
just 2 weeks ago. $59 a chimney sweep. They brought him in here to perfect this execution. But he jerked the ball last time and dusted the penalty.
Turns it into a 35-yarder from John Casey. And Casey is perfect. And the Panthers have looked perfect. They have taken a 17-0 lead over the Rams with 6:55 left in the 1st half. And the Rams can't believe it. They wouldn't even come off the field after that last score by the Carolina Panthers.
That's defense led Mike Jones and everybody on the knee for St. Louis right now, and it looks awful. There's just no energy on the sidelines right now, and this team is very close to what they did last week, which I thought quit in the Superdome. You were there at that game, Ray, and they didn't fight there in the second half.
Well, there's a lot of time left. Now is no time to start head hanging as Tony Horn brings this one out. He's got room on the sideline. Horn stays alive. And they'll say he's down at the 39. But Tony Horn tries to put some life into this Rams team with a 37-yard kickoff return.
And Ray, one way to get some life in is in the special teams. And that's a good return by Horn right there. But then I watched the offense come out onto the field, and they didn't look juiced or excited about it. This is a very good effort by Horn, taking this up the left sideline. Right behind Leonard Fletcher on the double team right there against Anthony Johnson, got him the seam. And look at Fletcher. Fletcher's working downfield. He got the double team block, and then he came downfield, tried to get another piece of somebody else.
1st and 10 for Steve Bono. Bono looks for the slant. J.T. Thomas can't hang on to it. Take a look at St. Louis's first 4 possessions in this one, and the results are pretty sad over there on the side.
They're not able to, this is the only first down they had right here, a pass by Banks, into the middle to J.T. Thomas, but otherwise, it's just been futile. And I think it starts up front with that offensive line who has not been able to move people off the ball and establish any kind of a running attack. Right there, Jerry Roan, the offensive coordinator here, pondering his move.
And his move is to hand it to Amp Lee, and Lee will lose a yard on 2nd and 10, make it 3rd down and 11.
Now, Amp Lee is a guy that it's been a spark on this team. Even when they played poorly, Amp Lee has played well. And if you gave it to Amp Lee every play in his offense, you probably wouldn't be doing a bad thing. He was the MVP of this team a year ago. And, he's come back from playing with a broken bone in one hand, a chipped bone in another hand, and he's played with that condition here the last week.
Steve Bono in for Tony Banks. They did x-rays. They proved to be negative. He may return this afternoon. 3rd and 9. Bono throws it to the corner, looking for Azahir Hakeem. Hakeem not there. Somebody lost a sneaker. It was Hakeem.
Yeah, right here, the protection is pretty good. They come with the blitz right here. Here comes Brown, and he gets picked up by Gerald Moore. Bono has a chance to step up into the pocket. He's clean. Nobody around him right there. This is a poorly thrown ball. Now how many reps is Steve Bono getting in practice? The backup always gets some, but he doesn't look like he has good time.
Rick Tootin on to kick this one away. Winslow Oliver from his 9. And he'll pick up 5 yards on the return after a 51-yard punt. 1st and 10 from their own 14. Go the Panthers. 3 scores in their last 3 possessions. But not this time. Beuerlein gets sacked. A blitzing Billy Jenkins gets him. Jenkins very effective on the blitz this afternoon.
Now, Billy Jenkins said he likes playing up close to the line of scrimmage. And you see Billy Jenkins right up here. And he's going to be coming in, and he finds an opening here as they blitz both inside linebackers, Hill and Jenkins. Jenkins comes free. It gets to the throwing arm of Steve Beuerlein. Hard to get out of the way there when number 22 is draped on that right arm.
First sack of the year for Billy Jenkins. 2nd and 17. Biaka Batuka stands at his goal line. But Beuerlein will throw it out to Wesley Walls, and Walls gets rattled by Jenkins again.
Now, Jenkins, like I said, got an opportunity to start because of the injury to Toby Wright early in the season. He's averaged 10 tackles a game for the last 4 games, and he's just an aggressive missile in the backfield. And that aggressiveness gets in trouble sometimes. Where he'll bite on play-action passes. Right here, this is the way that you finish a play. You drive your hat right between the 8 and the 5, and you plant Wesley Walls on his back. That's a good finish.
3rd and 10 at the 14. 3 wide receivers, and Wesley Walls split out for the Panthers. And they run out of time. It'll be a delay of game.
Offense.
Steve Beuerlein has hit 12 passes in a row. Wasn't able to get that one off in time.
Well, Beuerlein, his first start this year against Dallas, started off hitting his first 12 in that game. Ended up 18 of 19 in the first half against the Cowboys for 2 touchdowns. Very similar performance here this afternoon.
With the penalty, 3rd down and 15. Beuerlein. He'll get sacked again. Kevin Carter gets him down. 7.5 sacks on the year now for Kevin Carter.
And it's 5 consecutive games that Kevin Carter has had at least a half a sack. And here's Carter at the top of the screen against Norberto Garrido. And basically, it was just a power move. You know, Garrido never was able to set his feet and anchor down. And he was looking to his right, the flooded area over here. Now, this was his first read right there, but well covered by all 3 guys.
Walter punts from his own end zone. Kennison at the 43. Sticks it up to the 37 before he stumbles down. The Rams will have excellent field position. A 39-yard punt, a 6-yard return. There is a late flag. Well, they were going to have good field position. Now they're going to back it up 15. A personal foul against the Rams.
Yeah, it's going to be a personal foul against John Hesse right there, going after the punter.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 53 of the receiving team.
Yeah, Hess right there, one of the players brought in since the start of the season. Goes after Ken Walter here. See? Yeah, you got to get your head in front. That's just a stupid play. You know, it's just a flagrant foul right there, unnecessary. You know, if you're going to knock the punter down, at least get the head in front. Talking to Frank Gans right there, the special teams coach. Yeah.
He's real happy about that. 1st down and 10. Bono to throw the play action. Looks for the tight end over the middle. He's got him. It's Roland Williams. Williams. A 1st down, a pickup of 15.
You're going to see good fake right here, good block right here by Gerald Moore to get Jason Peter down. And there's Roland Williams right there in the middle of the field. You know, good read by Bono.
Tony Banks comes out of the locker room. He's back on the sideline. Injured both of his ankles earlier in the game. Bono has taken over. Gerald Moore can't go anywhere. Mike Barrow comes up and stops him for a yard loss. Mike Barrow has been playing some excellent football at that middle linebacker spot for these Panthers. Averaging 11 tackles a game.
Yeah, you know, this offensive line right now for the Rams, you know, when you watch them on film, Ray, I always think that the sign of a good offensive line is 5 guys that think with one brain. And these guys do not play well together. Now, individually, they're struggling. We've seen that in the passing protection, but together they don't play well.
2nd and 11. Bono on play action, looking for the tight end again. He's got Williams again. Roland Williams all the way up to the 18, a pickup of 22. And that will be the 2-minute warning. The Rams trying to make some noise before halftime.
Kevin Green with 13 sacks coming into today's game, hunts quarterbacks. But right here, Derek Harris, the fullback. Good job of standing up Green, allowing Bono time to throw this ball down the field to his tight end. Here, the line fans to the left, meaning Harris has to block Green one-on-one by himself. Tough task for anybody in this league, but good job right here. Big plays aren't scripted in this league. They happen because of execution.
1st down and 10 from the 18. Bono dumps it, throws it in behind his receiver as there is a flag down. He was looking for Ricky Prohl.
Illegal contact, 25, defense. 1st down.
Eric Davis called for the penalty. It'll move it up 5 yards and be another 1st down for the Rams. Their best drive of the afternoon. Wesley Walls got a little head start on halftime. He's been knocked out of this game a couple of times. They were looking at his knee for a while. They'll get him in there and administer to him. He's had a huge day. 5 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Back to being a big part of this offense like he has been the last 2 seasons.
1st and 10 from the 13. Bono. Low and outside, but it is caught by Azahir Hakeem. The rookie with a nice grab works inside for a pickup of 6.
And Bono starting to find a rhythm on this drive, and it's starting because of good protection. That time, Gerald Moore, good job of picking up the blitz coming off the outside, and Bono going to his hot receiver, his safety valve in the depleted area by the blitzing corner.
Time becoming a factor. 1:20 left and here in the first half.
They need touchdowns right now, Ray. They don't need field goals in this zone.
Gerald Moore inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line before Mike Barrow drapes over top of him. 9 carries, 14 yards on the day for Gerald Moore. As the Rams have 3 timeouts left. Carolina, you see, with 2. And Bono will take a timeout with 1:03 left in the first half. The Rams facing a 3rd down and 1. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, Joe Buck and Ron Pitts will have scores and highlights from around the league. Plus, get up to the minute stats with the Fox Sports Ticker. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report.
Yeah, some real big matchups in the NFL today, Ray. And, you know, I always thought that when you start that 11th game of the season, when there's 6 left, you know, that's the playoff stretch. That's the playoff run. And mentally as a player, you really start gearing yourself to every game being a big game.
Big chance for the Rams to get back into this when they were left all but for dead there in the middle of this second quarter as Carolina jumped out 17-0. You're right. If they get the touchdown here, they have been able to come back throughout the season.
Yeah, they've played better in the second half than they have in the first half. They've been a second half team.
The Rams go with the big men up front. Ethan Brooks checks in at a tight end eligible. There's an offensive tackle. Gerald Moore finds nowhere to go up the middle. Mike Barrow and company come up and hammer the wood, and it's going to be close. I don't know if they got the first down, and they didn't.
Yeah, you're going to see left guard Fred Miller pulling around here, trying to get an extra body into the middle of this line. 73 pulling. He starts pushing some guys here, but Carolina right here, you see Brent Alexander on top of that pile with Mike Barrow, their leading tackler this year.
I think they lost some yardage. St. Louis takes another timeout. They have 1 left. It's been a tale of 2 halves for these teams throughout the season. Carolina, as you see the numbers.
Yeah, they've been a first half team, and then, you know, you look at St. Louis here, and, you know, they've been able to come back in the second half. You know, scoring 96 points here in the second half, or 96 points in the second half.
They're going to need some points in the second half to get into this, but they need this 4th down conversion. See what Dick Vermeil has up his sleeve. The running game hasn't been that good to it. 4th and 1. Play action. Bono, he's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Jeff Robinson.
They brought in a defensive end.
Jeff Robinson, playing in his 91st consecutive game, scores a touchdown.
Jeff Robinson, who checked in as an eligible receiver, had to report in to the referee. And what a thrill that was. Not an easy catch over his shoulder, but nice soft touch, a lot of air under that ball by Bono.
An excellent play fake by Bono, allowing Robinson to get wide open in the end zone. Jeff Wilkins on to tack on the extra point, and he does. And the Rams close the gap. It is now 17-7 Carolina. A 7-play, 53-yard drive.
Here's Jeff Robinson right here. You're going to see an excellent play fake with Harris and Gerald Moore into the line. And watch the guys bite right here on this play on 4th down. And Robinson used a swim move. You know, he used a swim move to rush the passer. He used the swim move to get outside of Greg Lloyd. Everybody bites on on Moore. Nobody around Bono now. The nice soft touch.
And that's a nervous moment for Robinson, boy. You don't want to drop that one. You might not get another shot.
Good engineered drive by Steve Bono.
Steve Bono 4 for 4 on the drive for 46 yards and the touchdown. Don Capers, his defense should know better than that.
Yeah, you know, you see the guy come in there on that situation. I mean, just knock the defensive end off his feet. Don't let him get started. Now, you see now.
He doesn't know how to act, does he?
He doesn't know what to spike the ball, to throw it over, to give it back to the referee, save it. Yeah, put it in the collection.
He's going to save that one.
Yeah, that goes with the game balls.
So Wilkins will hammer this one away. This will be Dwight Stone from well deep in his own end zone, but Stone wants a shot. And there is a flag down as Stone brings it out to the 23-yard line. A 28-yard return for Dwight Stone. See what the penalty is.
Jeff Robinson, a 6-year player at Idaho. Biggest throw he's had this season.
Holding number 23 of the receiving team during the return. First down.
Anthony Johnson caught holding. Robinson scores touchdowns. He wants to go play defense now as you take a look at the St. Louis scoring drive. 7-play, 53-yarder.
Yeah, he's confused. You know, you're part of the offense now, Jeff. They need him in the passing game. And you're getting a big hug from some of his defensive linemen, too.
Carolina happy with a 17-7 lead. Beuerlein downs this one, and that'll be the final play of the first half. A first half that saw the Panthers jump out to a 17-0 lead, and the Rams answer with a touchdown by an unlikely defensive end. So that is the end of the first half with the score. Carolina 17, St. Louis 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with Joe Buck and Ron Pitts with the Visa halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. The Trans World Dome in St. Louis, Missouri, where the Carolina Panthers have a 17-7 halftime lead over the Rams. It is now time for our weekly feature, Ask the Pros. And Brian, our question comes from Jackie Rose in Vail, North Carolina. Was it a mistake for the Panthers to give Steve Beuerlein that 3-year contract extension?
No, I think absolutely not. I think that we've seen a resurgence and a renaissance of older veteran quarterbacks, and I think that's what you need to win in this league right now. I think you need a guy that has seen a lot, been in a lot of different systems, and can make adjustments during the games and be error-free. And we've seen a razor-sharp Steve Beuerlein here today.
That we have 13 of 14, a couple of touchdowns here in the first half. The quarterback on the other side, Tony Banks, chased around early in this one, got knocked out of this football game.
No, we said coming in that the offensive line had to protect Tony Banks. They needed to be more consistent. Well, first pass play hit by Les Miller right there. Ernie Jones here drags Banks down from behind. He's hurting now. He comes back in the game after being examined, only to be hit by Sean Gilbert, knocks the ball loose, and Banks went into the x-ray room there to get both ankles looked at.
Tony Banks out. Steve Bono has come in for the Carolina team. The pressure, 2 sacks, 6 hurries. However, the Rams got it going. Steve Bono 4 for 4 on the touchdown drive. For Carolina, Wesley Walls is having a huge day, as you said he might early on.
Yeah, and I thought that the middle of this St. Louis Rams defense opened up holes for Walls, and Beuerlein was able to exploit that a number of different times, especially down in that red zone, inside that 20-yard line where the field gets compressed, and find him for 2 touchdowns.
Wesley Walls left the game early, or actually late in the second quarter, had a slightly strained groin. They expect that he'll be back into action. Carolina will receive the second half kickoff. Dwight Stone and Winslow Oliver deep to return. And this will be Winslow Oliver going all the way across the field. Oliver still alive. Powers his way up to the 23-yard line before London Fletcher gets him down. A 25-yard return. Brian, let's take a look at the first half numbers.
Yeah, we're going to see, we said they got to run the football. And I thought that the team that could run the football best would win this game. And the Panthers here got off to that start. It's not great numbers, but they were able to use that to balance their passing. And then, you know, this turnover, the fumble recovery by Kevin Green resulted in a Wesley Walls touchdown, so they're able to capitalize on that turnover.
Steve Beuerlein leads the NFL in completion percentage. Hasn't hurt his cause at all here today. 13 of 14 in the first half. He'll take him out 1st and 10 from the 23. Fred Lane. Lane for 3 yards up the middle. Kevin Carter gets him down.
Now Carolina comes out right away and tries to get that running game going, running right in to that Ram defense, right into the meat of that. And here they have been. You know, I mean, last right here in total yards per game, only next to the Green Bay Packers in average per rush. And Dom Capers would like to run the football 30 times a game. They only average 22.
Fred Lane up near the 30-yard line on 2nd down. Eric Hill brings him down.
And Ray, you know, we were watching the tapes of Carolina against Miami last week. In their last 3 possessions, they're only down 13-9. They never ran the football. You know, and I believe that if you want to become a good running football team, you've got to run it. And you can't bail out on it too quickly. And that seems to be the trend that these West Coast offenses have. And as an offensive lineman, you want to get into that rhythm. You know, there's Gill in the middle, and you know, he likes to put that ball in the air, but the offensive line, they really want to pound it and establish that line of scrimmage.
3rd and 4. The Panthers 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversion. As the blitz comes, it's dumped out over the middle. Anthony Johnson in space will pick up the 1st down before Todd Light can get him down after a pickup of 12 yards.
Anthony Johnson was so wide open. When he turned around and caught that football, he's laughing about it.
He's still laughing.
There was nobody around him. It froze him. Watch Anthony Johnson when he catches this ball and he turns around and he says, this looks like warm-up. Where's everybody? He doesn't know where to go.
He's working on air out there. A 1st down. It brings up 1st and 10 from the 41 for Beuerlein. He missed on just 1 pass today. And the blitz comes again into the run. But Fred Lane avoids that blitzer and picks up a yard.
Now that's Billy Jenkins again. You know, a guy that we talked about in the first half, and he likes to play close to the line of scrimmage. You know, very comfortable at the line of scrimmage. And, you know, he reads this thing really well. Here he is right here, and he's just picking his spot. You know, he avoids the block by William Floyd, and they can't account for him there. Here he is coming right in here. You know, playing good to the line of scrimmage right there, able to avoid any blockers, stay clean, and able to trip up the ball carrier.
Jenkins had 9 tackles in the first half. 2nd down and 9. The rocket goes in motion. Beuerlein checks down. He's still alive, and now he throws this one away. And the Rams want an intentional grounding call, but the officials aren't reaching for any cloth.
Beuerlein showing a lot of savvy in the pocket, though. I mean, he really looked at the whole field. And the Rams did a good job of coverage on that play. Beuerlein did the smart thing and got rid of that football. You're going to see Beuerlein right here looking to his right to start with. Look at the head. It's all looking there. Now it looks back. Now look at him. You know, he doesn't, his head never drops. It always looks up. But there's nobody in there, and he was outside the tackle box. That could have been intentional ground.
Prior to that, Beuerlein had hit 13 in a row. It is 3rd down and 9. This one's batted up in the air, and Beuerlein plays a little volleyball. That was dangerous. DeMarco Farr got the hand on it.
That smart play by Steve Beuerlein, because this ball is up in the air for a long time, and even defensive linemen who have all their hands taped. Right there, DeMarco Farr get both hands up on it into the passing lane. Now look at it. Everybody's looking for that ball, and Beuerlein.
This has got some nice hang time.
Well, you know, I'm looking at Beuerlein there, and I'm saying, you know, the ball was in there. That's one hang time. The other hang time is how long Beuerlein was in the air. Because I think you could have put maybe an American Express credit card under those feet.
Yeah, 10 sheets of paper, a 10-sheet vertical.
Yeah, but, you know, if you're in your 11th year and you've taken some hits, that vertical drops.
That it does. Ken Walter will try to drop this one deep. Eddie Kennison back to receive.
Won one back this year against Minnesota for 71 yards.
Walter hangs this one up as you check his hang time. Kennison will take it at the 10-yard line. a 48-yard punt. Let's check out Steve Beuerlein's hang time.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Porsche, who wish to remind you there is no substitute.
Tony Banks left the game in the first quarter with an injured ankle. Steve Bono has come on. He hit 5 of 9 for 52 yards and a touchdown in relief. He opens up the second half. 1st and 10 from the 10. Bono on play action. Gets it away. He hits Ty.J. Armstrong over the middle. Armstrong strong up to the 30.
Yeah, you know, both teams looking at the tight end here today. And this is off a bootleg fake. You're going to see Ty.J. Armstrong, you know, going to line up right here, just coming across the field on a drag route. Bono, plenty of time to be able to find him right before he gets hit by Kevin Green, and Armstrong with his second catch of the day. But this is good. This is good job of sitting down in that hole of that zone by Armstrong.
Play action and getting it to the tight end has been what Bono has done to move this football team. 1st and 10 from the 30. Gerald Moore changes directions. Picks up 5 yards around the left side before Les Miller can shake him down.
Yeah, you know, Zach Wiegert pulled around from the right guard spot, and Jim Hanifin, the old offensive line coach of the Hogs, loves this. Get an offensive line. Now, he's going to get a good block on Michael Barrow, but Moore should be taking his ball outside. I think more yards were outside there down the seam than they were back inside. But Zach Wiegert got around there from the right guard spot and was able to get on the weak side linebacker Mike Barrow.
Gerald Moore with 7 carries and 15 yards in the afternoon. And they'll go play action again. And Bono wants it all.
Oh, what a catch.
And he's got it all with Ricky Prohl. Prohl goes up between Davis and Alexander and brings it down, a 42-yard gain.
Now, Ricky Prohl has been to the go-to guy since Isaac Bruce has been out with an injury the last 4 weeks. And give the mechanics here of Steve Bono, you know, high grades, because he makes everybody suck into the fake. Now, he stays in there and takes a shot from Kevin Green. But Prohl working against Eric Davis and Brent Alexander. Look at the timing on the leap. Alexander never turns to look at the ball. Prohl never takes his eyes off the ball. In traffic, great concentration. And Prohl, who I think is a quality receiver and doesn't get nearly enough credit in this league.
St. Louis ran out of time on the play clock. They'll use their first timeout of the second half. They're up. They're down 17-7. Carolina susceptible to the big play, gives up another one. Ricky Prohl with a huge reception, and Steve Bono is getting hot now. He's hit on his last 6 passes for 113 yards.
Yeah, 60 plays, 20 yards or more that the Carolina defense has given up this year. And 49 of those have been in the air. One of those, that one pass to Prohl.
1st and 10. Bono throws it outside. Hooks up with Prohl again. Prohl down to the 7-yard line. It'll be another first down.
Yeah, and what I think makes Ricky Prohl, you know, a guy that quarterbacks love is he thinks like a quarterback. You know, and he makes things comfortable for the quarterback. He gives them confidence, knowing that he runs precise routes. He'll go into traffic for a football. He times his jumps well. And, you know, he's a safety valve on this play. Cleared out well. One-on-one coverage against Eric Davis, and he finds the open seam.
1st and goal from the 7. Prohl goes in motion. And Bono will hand it off to Gerald Moore. Moore finds the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Second touchdown of the year for Gerald Moore, a 7-yard run. St. Louis has answered.
Yeah, right behind his fullback, Derek Harris. And a nice job of some nifty running by Moore, eluding some pressure initially in the backfield.
Jeff Wilkins comes on the field to try and add the extra point, and he does. And it's a 3-point ball game. The Rams coming back. Carolina 17, St. Louis 14. The Rams answer the opening drive of the second half, a 5-yard, 90-yard drive, 5-play, 90-yard drive, capped off by a 7-yard touchdown from Gerald Moore, and Steve Bono 3 for 3 for 78 yards on that drive. Wilkins will hit it deep to Stone and Oliver. Not Oliver, Stone. This will be Dwight Stone. A little seam up to the 28-yard line, a 23-yard return for Dwight Stone.
A couple things. Good block right here by Derek Harris on outside linebacker Greg Lloyd. And then Mike Barrow overruns this play right here as the right guard, Zach Wiegert, again pulls around. Allowed Moore to be a little patient right there. Allowed the right guard to pull, get in the way of Barrow. And Gerald Moore finds the end zone for a second touchdown. Look at right here, Zach Wiegert. Gets a good belly, gets a little depth in that pool. Just a little hat on Barrow, who overran it. Moore, good vision, cutting that ball inside.
First down and 10 for Steve Beuerlein. He'll go play action and dump it out to William Floyd. Floyd with some room. He stays alive, runs over 2 men all the way up to the 46-yard line. William Floyd with a little attitude.
Yeah, Floyd came here this year in a free agent game. Wanted a bigger role in offense, was in San Francisco. Wanted to be a bigger part of the offense, and hasn't really had that opportunity much here. But a quality receiver, and then always a guy that's a tailback after the catch. Just bouncing off tackles. It looked like the gauntlet.
He ran over both Jones boys, Mike A and Mike D. First down and 10. Fred Lane busts up the gut. Ray Agnew says no, a gain of 2.
Some of the woes here of the Carolina Panthers been outscored here 89-30 here in the third quarter. And then turnovers have also been a problem. Everything's been a problem in the third quarter. They haven't come out of the tunnel, ready to play football the way Dom Capers would like. And that paper right there, he charts all the big plays and all of the things that can shift the game's momentum. And certainly that last touchdown drive by Bono, 90 yards, will do that.
Second and 8. Beuerlein with pressure. He'll be sacked. Kevin Carter, his second sack of the day. 8.5 on the year now for Kevin Carter, and the Rams are on fire.
Again, Carter going up against Norberto Garrido right here at right tackle. And just beats him inside. Now the problem with that is getting beat that quickly is you're going to see Ismail being covered by Todd Light. Now he had no time to look at that route. But underneath that, what we didn't see was William Floyd wide open. But Beuerlein had no shot with Carter right in his lap.
3rd and 17. Beuerlein throws the in route to Muhsin Muhammad. Muhammad will be wrapped up at the 47, 9 yards shy of a first down.
Rams breathing a little life now, and I think it's been sparked by Bono. A team that has not been able to make plays when they've had to this year, offensively and defensively. Some spark right now. You can see it on the sideline. You're going to see some tackling right here on Muhsin Muhammad. Now watch the blue shirts come. Jones comes. McLeon comes. It looks like the whole defense wants to get to the football. And that's when you start to win.
Right, and that's how you usually take the temperature of a defense. How many guys are on the stop? Most of them were for the Rams that time as Walter hits this one to Kennison. Kennison from the 14. There's a flag on the play, and Kennison gets a seam along the sidelines, gets it up to the 36-yard line, and the ball comes out. The Rams come up with the football. We'll find out what the flag will do to this play. It's not a good sign when your punter Walter's down at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, Tajee Allen recovering it for St. Louis, right in front of Dom Capers. The flag was all the way over on the other side of the field, and it was thrown immediately.
London Fletcher talking with Johnny Greer.
Yeah, London Fletcher, their best special teams player for the Rams.
Member of the kicking team downfield. Number 50. The penalty is declined. First down.
Kinnan Tatum got down the field early. Play will stand. The Rams will try to come up with another big drive when we come back. They trail by 3.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By IBM, are you ready for e-business? By the all-new Alero by Oldsmobile, start something. And by Citizen, today more than ever, Citizen is how the world tells time.
Here's the penalty. Here's Keenan Tatum, the left guard. He leaves a little too early on this play. And Walter gets the ball off, and Tatum does a good job of knocking London Fletcher down. But this ball gets knocked out by number 88 of Carolina, Donald Hayes, right there. That ball's on the ground, and you're going to see right here, that ball's loose, and right here, Hayes, 88, has got that ball buried in his belly.
That's what Dom Capers was so upset about, but the officials saying no fumble. The Rams will get the football, and there'll be penalties, flags flying all over.
On the quarterback. Still first down.
And you don't see that often, but Steve Bono, false start.
Yeah, he pulled out from John Flannery a little early. You know, if you're the center, you always want the quarterback to take the blame. But here's the fumble here on Tennison's punt return. This ball is right there. Donald Hayes, 88, is sitting on that ball. There it is, right in there. There's not a blue jersey around right here that has that football, and that's Dom Capers was right in front of that play.
5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 for Bono and the Rams. Henley and Lee in the backfield. Bono dumps it over the middle late, looking for Ricky Prohl. Let's go to Joe Buck in the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles. Joe?
All right, Ray, the Buffalo Bills are now 7-4. Doug Flutie got it done again. He's 5-1 this year as a starter, 20 for 28 this afternoon as he hooks up here with Andre Reed for a 67-yard touchdown in the 34-11 win over Indianapolis. The Bills have now won 7 of their last 8. Back to St. Louis, Ray and Brian.
Thank you, Joe. If you look at the AFC playoff picture, Tennessee and the Jets are tied right now, 3-3.
And tied in that column of a 6-4 record as well.
Bono on 2nd and 15 goes high and wide, incomplete. J.T. Thomas went up and caught it, but they say he is out of bounds.
That's a good finish by Lenny McGill over there. As Thomas looked like he had the ball for a second, but Lenny McGill, who just got signed on October 14th, you know, one of the 9 players that have been brought in since the start of the season. Break all over him, and Thomas never had control of that ball. Good coverage by Lenny McGill. When the Rams go to 3 wide receivers, they bring McGill in. He plays the left cornerback spot for Eric Davis, who goes in the slot right here and is covering Ricky Prohl.
And Bono, with not enough time, calls a timeout. It'll be 3rd and long for the Rams when we come back. Third down and 15 for the St. Louis Rams. They're 1 of 7 so far today on 3rd down conversions. Steve Bono has come in and done an excellent job in relief of the injured Tony Banks.
Look at 59 there. Ernest Jones for Carolina brought him in to be a pass rusher. Just signed him off the waivers just a couple of weeks ago, November 5th. He's been bringing some heat. And Kevin Green here on this pass rush will be coming after Bono as well.
Bono on a 3-step. It's patted up in the air. Yeah. Sean Gilbert got a hand on that.
And that was Ernest Jones right there.
Ernest Jones with the pressure. Gilbert with the pass, batted up in the air.
You see Gilbert, number 94, gets the big paw. Free agent pickup of Carolina, who didn't play football last year. The $10 million signing bonus came in here, was brought in to beef up that defensive line. Hasn't played up to that type of money yet so far.
Had a sack earlier in this game, his first sack since week 2. Tootin averaging 50 yards on 4 kicks. Hammers another one. Sends Winslow Oliver back inside his 10. He muffs it. Stumbles around. He picks it up at the 10. And gets knocked down at the 18. It's a huge day, Thanksgiving Day. Get a double dose of Fox Sports when Justin Leonard, Annika Sorenstam, and Jim Colbert show off their short games at the Sun Microsystems Par 3 Challenge. That'll be followed by the Minnesota Vikings battling the Dallas Cowboys. It all starts at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, right here on Fox. Looking forward to the Thanksgiving Day battle. Troy Aikman all over it in the Cowboys' win over Seattle today.
Yeah, he's coming back from that broken shoulder and getting stronger as the game goes on. He knows what this final 6-game stretch is like. He's been in that playoff picture a bunch.
Fred Lane on 1st and 10, slides off to the left side. Eric Hill knocks him down. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, they got a new left tackle in right now. Rob Baldinger in for Blake Brockemeyer. Baldinger, the tallest player in the NFL at 6'9".
Holding, 79, offense, still first down.
And the rookie got caught holding.
Yeah, getting thrown in there. Brockemeyer, who's been struggling with a bad knee, is right here. It's hard not to find him. But he has to double team there on Ray Agnew. And it looked like he,
I don't know
about that. It looked like all he did was lose his feet and fell down. And Agnew got off the play just fine. Well, this is a tough situation here for the left tackle. As the crowd gets into it, it's hard to hear.
1st and 19, Ishmael in motion. Beuerlein looks for him over the middle. And the Rocket stays alive. He'll get up close to the first down before Billy Jenkins can run him out. He'll be a couple of yards short, a pickup of 15.
Yeah, some yak yards, some yards after the catch by Ishmael, breaking the tackle of Todd Light. You see Todd one-on-one here. Now, Todd has to cover him all the way across the field. And he has to get through all that traffic like him. Now, you'll see Light come in on the other side. He has to fight through all that traffic, and you get there, you want to make that tackle.
2nd down and 2. Ishmael got him out of the hole. Freddie Lane in the backfield, and this will be Lane. And Lane for no gain. Mike D. Jones and Keith Lyle in there.
Yeah, and the Rams sending people on that 3rd and short. Keith Lyle coming up from the safety position, playing defense in the offensive backfield. Yeah, and there's some life here in the Rams. That's Peter Junta, the co-defensive coordinator. The other part of that defensive coordinator spot is upstairs, John Bunting. And Peter controls the secondary in that part of the defense. He called that blitz of Keith Lyle last play.
Mike Jones doing some jumping jacks, trying to get the crowd into it.
John Bunting here. He's got the hat on backwards, the rally cap going right now.
3rd down and 2. Beuerlein to the tight end Walls. Walls with the first down. When in doubt, go to Wesley Walls.
And Ray, how many times have we seen that today on 3rd and short? Carolina opting not to go for it, in the running game, but go to the passing game.
They are a passing team. They've proved that throughout the year as much as they talk about the run.
And the eyes of Eric Hill coming on the blitz, and Beuerlein left clean. Finds the hot receiver in Wesley Walls, his best target today.
Walls has been hot. 6 grabs on the day. 1st and 10 from the 31. Fred Lane. Eric Hill got him by the shoe after Lane picks up 3 yards. Wesley Walls caught 8 passes last week. He's got 6 already this week as the officials are looking at a couple of flags on the turf.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 22 of the defense, 1st down.
Costly penalty for Billy Jenkins and the Rams.
Yeah, and that hurts the team. Hurts the team. They had him backed up there off the holding call by Rob Baldinger. And Ishmael breaks a tackle by Todd Light, and then the personal foul by Jenkins, and suddenly Carolina is on the march. And that's just you. That's just aggressiveness, a guy that wants to go make a play, make his presence felt. A little too excited.
1st down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Floyd in motion. The blitz comes from the middle linebacker. Beuerlein has to pull it down. And he'll lose yardage. It'll be a sack for DeMarco Farr and Kevin Carter.
And Ray, as an inside linebacker yourself for a lot of years, they come with the crossfire blitz that time. A chance to get to the quarterback, and it's never the first guy that gets in there. It's always the second guy, and that's what happened last time. Eric Hill blitzed from his spot, and then right behind him came Mike Jones. And that pressure made Beuerlein drop his head, and they got to him.
I always like to be the second guy through,
Let the first guy clean it up for you, and you come in clean.
They gave Carter that sack, his third on the day. Freddie Lane tries to get outside. There is another flag as Roman Pfeiffer pushes him out. This will be holding against Carolina. Blake Brockermeyer out of this game, as Brian said. Rob Baldinger in for him. It's a shoulder for Brockermeyer. We do not know whether he'll return or not.
Holding, 79. Offense is declined.
That's 2 on this drive for the rookie Baldinger.
Yeah, Rob Baldinger, you know, at 6'9", I just think, you know, he's very awkward. You know, he's got to get underneath these defensive linemen. It's hard for him to get underneath it. Here he is right here going against Mike Jones. You see that left hand? That left hand immediately went outside of Jones. And as soon as the umpire sees that, the flag comes out of the pocket. And that's a no-no. You keep that hand, you can hold, but hold inside that chest area.
The Rams declined the penalty, 3rd and 13. Beuerlein looking downtown. He's got Hayes. Hayes forced out of bounds at the 21. The rookie Donald Hayes, his first NFL reception, a 34-yarder from Steve Beuerlein.
And what a beautiful pass by Beuerlein, because he threw this right between the zone. You're going to see Hayes right here. Now he's running down the field with Tajay Allen. And Jenkins, who's coming from the safety position, doesn't have a chance to get over there. Doesn't have a chance to get over on the top. And Allen stopped on the play. He froze on the move by Hayes. Hayes, a big receiver at 6'4".
Number 4 pick out of Wisconsin as Fred Lane takes it up the gut. Keith Lyle on top of him.
Now, we were talking to Beuerlein yesterday in the meetings, and he said, you know, the Rams, they play a quarter front in their secondary. You know, where each of the secondary people, the 2 corners and 2 safeties, are responsible for a quarter. And that time, Tajay Allen had that quarter. Now, they've overcome 2 holding calls on this right now because of the heads-up play by Beuerlein.
Eric Hill has gone out of this game. London Fletcher takes over at the middle linebacker spot on 2nd and 4. Fred Lane runs into London Fletcher. That's how you fill a hole.
Yeah, London Fletcher, what a story he's been. You know, just a rookie out of John Carroll College. He was a basketball player at St. Francis. You know, he said, you know, football's in my blood. He transferred to John Carroll. There he is in the middle. I mean, this is the way you come in and make your presence felt. You know, you don't see the guard, Garcia. Wow. He stacks him up.
He lifted Lane right up off the ground. That's your textbook tackle right there. I love to see that.
I mean, listen, that's 6 foot, but he's more about 5'10".
A Sam Mills kind of guy.
A guy that Carolina still misses.
3rd down and 4. Beuerlein on the quick. He hits Muhsin Muhammad. Muhammad down to the 1.
See the size and the strength of Muhammad right there, dragging Ryan McNeil right to the goal line.
And he wanted the end zone. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Carolina 17, St. Louis 14. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Muhsin Muhammad wanted the end zone. Now, when you have frustrated teams that aren't doing well, what you get is turf pounding. Watch this turf pounding right here. That's classic turf pounding.
Yeah, but usually you see it, you know, in a negative way. But, you know, he's just pounding the turf because he wanted 7 points. You know, so there could be good turf pounding and there could be bad turf pounding. You know, when you're 1-9 and 3-7, there's a lot of bad turf pounding, plays they should have made.
1st and goal from the 1. Brockermeyer back in the game, creates a hole. It is touchdown, Fred Lane. There's Blake Brockermeyer out with that shoulder, came back in to get him a touchdown.
Yeah, came back in for the important play. They left Baldinger in there at tight end. He reported as an eligible receiver, much like the Rams' Jeff Robinson did, and he lined up at the tight end spot.
And then Fred Lane ran right behind him. They call that the U-Boley formation.
You want to explain that, Greg?
Well, you have 2 tight ends. One is T, the other is U. He's the backside tight end, the U guy. His name's Baldinger. They shorten it, and it's the U-Boley.
And here he is. Here's U-Boley right here, burying Jeff Robinson. They're digging him out there, digging him out of the hole, allowing Lane to go over the top. Here's U-Boley. Watch this. Watch him finish this play now. 2 holding calls, right? Now, you know, you dig that guy out and finish him.
2 holdings and a 2-point takedown.
See, no turf pounding there.
That's what the Rams are missing right now.
Yeah. He feels bad because he had 2 holding calls in that drive, but you know what? He got the last one. He got the last one, driving Jeff Robinson out of the way, allowing Lane to score.
And Carolina answers the challenge. They're looking to go up 24-14 if John Casey can convert. And he does.
The extra point is good to score.
With 14:57 left in the contest. Carolina 24, St. Louis 14.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the Grand Am with solid form design. It's excitement, well built from Pontiac. By Paramount Pictures' Star Trek Insurrection, starts Friday, December 11th, rated PG. By Transamerica, the people in the pyramid working for you. And by Intel, makers of the amazing Pentium 2 processor.
Ray Bentley and Brian Baldinger with you as the Carolina Panthers answer an 82-yard, 11-play drive. Steve Beuerlein 4 for 4 for 71 yards on the drive. Beuerlein 20 of 23 on the day. Casey kicks it off to Tony Horn. Horn from the 3. They get up close to the 30-yard line before Spencer Reed brings him down, a 26-yard return. Tonight, it's an all-new episode of The X-Files. Critics are calling it a mind-blower, a tour de force episode. Don't miss the moment you've been waiting for on The X-Files. An all-new episode begins tonight at 9, 8 Central, right here on Fox. There's a mind-blower.
Yeah. Yeah, some Rams. I mean, there are some patriotic fans here still in St. Louis, and I think it's St. Louis is like Atlanta. When they start winning, the fans will be out and the faces will be painted up.
First down and 10. Prohl goes in motion. Gerald Moore finds a hole off the left side. Moore all the way out to the 38-yard line before Brent Alexander can lasso him up.
Yeah, you know, this Rams offensive line is only has played better, I think, with Bono in there. And right here, you know, you get the right guard again, Zach Wiegert pulling around. They've been running this play a lot, just an O-Bob, getting him around on the weak side linebacker, and Moore is showing some patience in the backfield, allowing some of that traffic to clear out before he finds his open.
Second down and 1. And it's an early start. Looked like Zach Wiegert.
Yeah. See, I've been giving him some publicity here
go.
today. You know,
False start prior to the snap. Number 72, offense. Still second down.
We're trying to talk up the offensive line here, and the job that Wiegert has done is he's gotten his track shoes on today. There's his coach, Jim Hannafin, longtime coach of the Hogs there in Washington. A lot of the same type of plays there where they like to get those Hogs out front, get some interference, you know, on the linebackers for those tailbacks.
Second down and 7. Moore and Harris in the backfield. Bono on play action. This 2-receiver route. And this is incomplete. Eddie Kennison working on Eric Davis. There is a flag near the 50-yard line in the defensive secondary. And it is holding on the Carolina secondary.
Eddie Kennison is a guy that
Holding, 25 defense. First down.
Yeah, and Eddie Kennison didn't start today. You know, obviously here Akeem started because Eddie Kennison went home on Tuesday to take care of some personal problems in Houston, and he didn't get back in time for practice on Wednesday. You know, missed a flight because of some weather conditions. That's the second time in 2 years. There, Eric Davis looked like he was playing pretty good pass defense on Kennison.
Yeah, the holding came earlier in the route. It gives the Rams a first down and 1st and 10 after a 5-yard penalty. And this is Ricky Prohl hooking up for a first down. He's working on Davis as well. It's a nice shot from Bono.
Yeah, Ricky Prohl has bounced around this league now. You know, he started in Arizona and he went to Seattle. He played in Chicago last year, had a solid season. He's caught 50 or more passes in 6 out of 8 years. And, you know, the only way that you can do that, go from one system to another, is if you are able to understand offense and understand defenses and be able to fit in. And Ricky does that everywhere he goes.
29 catches in the last 4 games for Ricky Prohl. 1st and 10 from midfield. Gerald Moore tripped up in the backfield. Jeff Brady on the blitz. Got Moore down Gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that's a feel. Because, again, Jim Hannafin calls an off-tackle play where they pulled the left guard, Miller, that time. And Fred Miller got out there, and Brady came in behind that off-tackle play. And that's just a feel. Playing close to the line of scrimmage, seeing a hole, taking it, and tripping up more from the tackle. He said they needed to run that football today. They haven't been able to get it going.
2nd and 9. Bono dumps it over the middle, looking for Harris. Had the pressure on Sean Gilbert in his face.
I've been talking about Fred Miller, you know, the left guard, who missed last week with a sprained knee, and that knee isn't right because he had a hard time right here holding out Sean Gilbert. You're going to see the matchup right here. And here's Miller right here, the left guard. You see 73 not being able to put his feet in the ground and anchor him down. Gilbert showing a good bull rush, keeping Bono right in his sight.
They say when Sean Gilbert wants to, he flat out can. He did that time. 3rd down and 9. Bono has not been in the shotgun since he dropped the snap earlier in the first half. Throws the outside route, hooked up with Kennison for a 1st down.
The best pass rusher for the Carolina Panthers is right here, Kevin Green. He drops into cover. They bring this blitz from this side. You know, I don't know if this is what you want to do scheme-wise. You know, blitz a middle linebacker, Keenan Tatum, right there, and drop Kevin Green, taking him away from what he does best, drawing Wayne Gandy's block. Right? That's just a classic zone blitz right there.
On 1st and 10, Gerald Moore runs it off to the left side. The ball comes out late. The officials say he is down as Jeff Brady wrapped him up. And Moore staying down.
You know, Gerald Moore has been banged up this year. He had a concussion 2 weeks ago, early in the game against Chicago.
Robert Holcomb would replace Gerald Moore.
Now, between the two of those guys, Holcomb and Moore, playing that tailback position this year, they've only averaged 2.4 yards a carry. And they have struggled that position. You're going to see Moore here, again, behind Wiegert, cutting it straight up. And that's Brady hitting him along with Brent Alexander. That ball popped out after he was down. But there was a collision.
Gerald Moore, 15 carries for a season-high 34 yards. And we will take a break as the Carolina Panthers have a 24-14 lead over the St. Louis Rams. Gerald Moore on the bench. Looked like he's got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. Amp Lee will check in and replace him as the Rams will go to a 3 wide receiver set on 2nd down and 8. Bono on a 3-step drop. Hooks up with Eddie Kennison for a 1st down to the 26-yard line. Let's head out to the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles and Joe Buck.
All right, Ray, in Dallas, Emmitt Smith right here with an 8-yard touchdown catch. He had 74 yards on the ground to go over 1,000 yards for the 8th consecutive season. The Cowboys with an 8-point win at home over Seattle. Don't forget Thanksgiving Day, the 8-3 Cowboys hosting the 10-1 Minnesota Vikings. We'll hit the air with a pregame show at 3:30 Eastern. Back to St. Louis, Ray and Brian.
Thank you, Joe. 1st down and 10. Amp Lee finds it tough sledding, loss of 1 yard on the play. And let's look at the NFC East standings. The Dallas Cowboys on top, Arizona trying to keep pace. Not much else in that division.
Yeah, but what a finish that was last week. And I don't know about that call in the end zone on Rob Moore. You know, where Jake Plummer is trying to come back and tie that game, send it in overtime. But one thing's for clear is that Dallas offensive line is together. They're playing well, and Emmitt Smith is a recipient of that.
2nd down and 11. Bono on the 3-step. Incomplete. J.T. Thomas can't hang on to it.
Yeah, they're working over there on the left corner, Lenny McGill in this 3 wide receiver set. And Lenny McGill, you know, just got signed here about 5 weeks ago. still learning this system, and the one thing he doesn't want to get have happen to him here is to get beat deep. So he's given a sizable cushion to the receivers on that side.
They say Gerald Moore has some bruised ribs. They don't know yet if he will return or not. St. Louis on 3rd down, 2 of 9 on the afternoon. This is a big one for Steve Bono. With time, Bono double clutches and throws it low to Amp Lee. Lee hangs on, but he'll be short of the 1st down. And the Rams will go for the field goal to pull within 7.
Great catch by Amp Lee. Those are 2 hands that that have been broken this season. He doesn't wear anything on him. He's just getting through it, but he took that ball right off the carpet.
Jeff Wilkins on for a 39-yard field goal attempt. Wilkins 12 of 15 on the year. It is up, and it is good. Jeff Wilkins closes the gap to within 7. Carolina 24, St. Louis 17. St. Louis Rams come up with a field goal on an 11-play, 49-yard drive, a 39-yarder from Jeff Wilkins. They close to within 1 touchdown. Wilkins will kick it off. Oliver and Stone deep to receive. This will be Dwight Stone from the goal line. And Stone brings it out to the 25, a 25-yard return. Jay Williams. Actually, Charlie Clemens also on that tackle. It's Big Splash Sunday. Is Homer's friend in hot water? Find out on an all-new Simpsons. And is getting a long wet kiss cheating? Well, it's a brand new That 70s show. Plus, it's the moment you've waited for on the X-Files. Big Splash Sunday starts tonight with the world's funniest at 7, 6 Central.
The top movie in the country is Waterboy Bobby Boucher. And, each sideline has one. The valuable guy indoors here, as it gets hot, you got to keep those fluids coming.
1st and 10, Fred Lane gets lit up by Eric Hill. He'll crease his way up for 3 yards.
Yeah, and this Rams defense has played pretty well this year, Ray, as a group. They've held teams on the average under 300 yards of total offense, but they haven't been able to make the big stops when they've had to. And certainly this situation now, 9 minutes to go in this game, they're got to be up to the task.
That's Toby Wright on the sideline. Billy Jenkins has taken over for him at strong safety. Jenkins has started the last 7 games. 2 tight ends in for the Carolina Panthers. Beuerlein with the pressure. He'll be sacked again. DeMarco Farr gets him down, but there is a flag. If it stands, it'll be the 6th sack of the year for Farr, and it is holding against Carolina.
Yeah, and that offensive line, who's had 7 different combinations of starters in 11 games this year, still isn't right.
65, offense. It's declined. 3rd down.
Frank Garcia.
Holding. Yeah, downfield, you're going to see Todd Light right here against Musa Muhammad. Running step for step with them. And, Muhammad doesn't feel it. On the other side, up here, you're going to go Todd Light against the Rocket. Beuerlein never able to get any vision downfield as DeMarco Farr got a 6th sack of the year.
4 wide receivers in the set. Anthony Johnson behind Beuerlein. The blitz comes from the outside. Light a little late. Musin Muhammad can't hang on to it. Working on Ryan McNeil. Had hands on it. McNeil got it away from him.
Yeah, that's a jump ball. The ball was in the air there, and a chance for Muhammad to come down with it. Yeah, there's some people excited about what's going on here in this Trans World Dome here today. Muhammad goes up for it. Never really gets a handle on it as Ryan McNeil tries to finish the play. You see that hand right there coming in between the 2 hands of Muhammad, not allowing for him to recover that ball.
Ken Walter set to kick it deep to Eddie Kennison. Kennison fumbled one earlier. The officials said it wasn't a fumble. Kennison with a fair catch at the 45-yard line. A 36-yard punt from Ken Walter. And the Rams will be 55 yards from pay dirt when we come back.
Steve Bono out of the bullpen in relief for Tony Banks today, and Banks in his short stint in there was sacked 2 times, hit 4 other times. He went out with 2 bad ankles, x-rayed, but this offensive line looks like they have protected Bono better. He's been unsacked here so far today and relatively kept clean directing this offense.
Robert Holcomb in the backfield. Gerald Moore still out with the bruised ribs. And Bono with the blitz coming, throws it outside. He's got Akeem. Steve Lofton slipped down. Akeem wide open for a pickup of 19.
And that's right. That's exactly what happened. Eric Davis fell down here. And Oz here, who's running a deep out on Davis. Davis is looking at Bono all the way. Oh, that's Lofton right there. And that's Steve Lofton right there who slipped on that play. And this is Kevin Green right here coming all the way to the inside. Zach Wiegert picks him up in the guard position. And he's kept out of there as well.
First down and 10. The blitz comes again. The hot receiver outside is Ricky Prohl, as Steve Bono is showing you the veteran savvy, finding the right guy.
Hey, you know, we talked about that really at the open, Ray, about, you know, how these quarterbacks, the older quarterbacks, the elder statesmen in this league, you know, have flourished. And it's just experience. You know, it's knowing how to go into a huddle and pull everybody together. You know, that's how it starts. You know, you get everybody believing in what you're doing, and then you go down and you make plays. You don't make excuses that Isaac Bruce isn't in there or Ernie Conwell, the tight end, is hurt. You go and work with what you have.
Hey, what's next?
2nd and 5. The Rams on the move. They'll run it to Holcomb. Holcomb, he'll get a first down around the right side. Pushed out by Michael Barrow.
Yeah, and showing some life here. Again, Jim Hannafin pulling the offside guards on these bob plays. And right here, Derek Harris coming around the corner. Good job on Kevin Green. Harris gets up on Eric Davis, and Holcomb goes north-south in a hurry. And there's Roland Williams here. You know, just a rookie tight end going up against the veteran. See, he gets that separation right there, but that hand right in the legal spot, right on that one, they won't throw the flag right there. But it inhibited Green from getting to the outside.
1st and 10. Prohl in motion. Bono to throw again. Dumps it outside to Holcomb. Good coverage. Bono had to dump it. Sean Gilbert over there with the pressure.
You know, Sean Gilbert came here as a defensive end, but he's really a defensive tackle. And he struggles when he's out at end in a 3-4 lineman. But here they have him sunk down over the guard. And that's really where he's better. See, he was able to put just a good quick swim move on Fred Miller, who's not moving well and is struggling in there with a bad sprained knee.
2nd down and 10. 3 wide receivers up top. Amp Lee in the backfield. Bono with the quick. Down low, it hops to Kennison, incomplete.
Yeah, they went to that bear look that time where they covered the interior 3 linemen of the Rams. The center and 2 guards, and then they blitzed the middle linebacker. They dropped Kevin Green into coverage, and he got into that passing lane of that Bono throw. So Carolina throwing a lot of different looks on defense. You can see it. Kevin Green fakes like he's coming and it drops. They blitz the middle linebacker and he gets into the passing lane on Kennison. Kevin Green for 14 years. Not real graceful in that drop, but got there nonetheless.
They're down in 10. Bono to the end zone for Akeem. Off his fingertips, incomplete. Lenny McGill on the coverage. Akeem, like he could have had himself a touchdown.
Oh, and a shining moment, an opportunity for the young rookie.
With 6 minutes and 11 seconds left, the Rams will go for another field goal. Close the gap to within 4.
And Ray, that's where you have to leave the feet. That's where you have to leave the feet and lay out for that ball. Give yourself every inch that you need to pull that in.
41-yard field goal attempt from Wilkins. And he is good. (24-20) now. Carolina Panthers lead has been cut to 4.
20, 41-yard field goal.
Thanksgiving Day, get a double dose of Fox Sports when Justin Leonard, Annika Sorstam, and Jim Colbert will show off their short games at the Sun Microsystems Par 3 Challenge. We'll follow that with the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. It all starts at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific right here on Turkey Day on Fox.
And how about this rookie wide receiver, Randy Moss, today, and becoming Randall Cunningham's favorite receiver. I saw him make a couple of those catches in the game. I mean, incredibly athletic and acrobatic when the ball is in the air, and then quickness to adjust the ball. And he's a high jumper too. And he goes up and gets those balls, and that's a confused fan. He's getting ready for Thanksgiving. Yeah. And he's got the star and the Cowboys on, but he's got the face painted up in his Ram color. That's a good special teams team right there. Leads this team in special teams tackles.
16 coming in. He's got at least 2 today. Does London Fletcher. Jeff Wilkins has it teed up at the 30. Winslow Oliver along with Dwight Stone will receive the kick. And Wilkins bombs this one all the way through the end zone, a touchback. Let's take a look at the playoff picture as we speak in the NFC. Your division leaders on top, and then the wild card race going on down below.
Yeah, and San Francisco plays New Orleans tonight. They're going to try New Orleans 5-5. They also could climb into that picture with Arizona should they be able to beat San Francisco. And certainly the surprise, I think, this year is what Atlanta has done. And like we talked about at the opening, I mean, these two guys, on Thanksgiving, they'll get it on. That's going to be a battle down there in Texas Stadium.
Carolina comes out 1st and 10 from the 20. Lane and Floyd in the backfield. Beuerlein to throw. He'll dump it out to William Floyd. A sure tackle from Todd Light because Floyd had nothing but turf in front of him. Had Light missed that shot.
Again, in at left tackle for Carolina is Rob Baldinger. Who's going in there for Blake Brockemeyer, who's got the bad shoulder right now. Also had missed time earlier this season with the bad knee. But that's a matchup right there that the Rams, from that side with Michael Jones and DeMarco Farr have to take advantage of. Haven't been in a lot of games like this late in the 4th quarter where he has to protect.
2nd down and 8. Fred Lane fumbles. He spit it up. There's a mad scramble. And Carolina retains possession. '30th fumble of the year for the Carolina offense. Very fortunate to fall back on top of it.
Yeah, they've only been able to lose 12 of them. They've recovered 18, and that was one of the 18. I was talking to Dick Vermeil yesterday, and he said, you guys get the ball knocked out. You're just not coming up with the loose balls. And I always think loose balls are just like in basketball. The teams that are hustling the most get the loose balls. Not only did Carolina recover it, but they gained yards on the cover.
Looked like Rocket Ismail saved the bacon for the Panthers, recovering that fumble. 3rd down and 2. Carrier in motion. They'll toss it outside to Anthony Johnson. Johnson gets through for a 1st down until Billy Jenkins lights him up. Pickup of 7. They've showed pass out of that. They come with the crack sweep.
Yeah, and you know what? And the Rams were expecting pass because they came with the blitz. Roman Pfeiffer blitz from the outside. You can see right here, Pfeiffer's on the blitz, and he gets picked up by little Mark Carrier, the wide receiver. Mark Carrier, one of the smallest guys on the field, came in and had a crackback block on Pfeiffer. And one of the few times today Carolina ran on 3rd down. They changed up, and they caught the Rams in a blitz.
Carrier, they say 186 pounds. I don't believe it. He isn't that big. 1st and 10 for Carolina, staying alive. Fred Lane gets knocked down hard by Eric Hill.
Hill, who was a Pro Bowl alternate for 3 years from '94 to '96, was brought in here to really settle the things down in the middle. They lost Robert Jones to the Miami Dolphins, and they had a vacancy. They went after the experienced guy, Eric Hill. Been in the league for 10 years, has never been to a playoff game. Best team he's ever played on was in Arizona, 8-8, but they liked his experience and toughness. And that's the kind of hit that they were expecting when they brought him here.
Second down and long. This will be Fred Lane trying to stretch it outside. He goes out of bounds to stop the clock after a pickup of maybe a yard.
Well, I tell you, that's kid Billy Jenkins likes to finish now. As he just finished Fred Lane.
And Lane stays down on the sideline. And the Rams personnel is attending to him as the Carolina trainers come across the field.
Well, watch this missile come out of the secondary. See, Roman Pfeiffer does a good job of stretching this play out to the sideline. There's 58 stretching this play out, but watch 22 come in. Now, he didn't lead with the head, now just led with the shoulder, so it was a legal hit, just as he was going out of bounds, but he didn't pull up at all.
Nice shoulder pop from Billy Jenkins. He's got 12 tackles and a sack on the day, does Billy Jenkins.
Man, I really like Billy Jenkins. I like the way he plays the game. I liked him in our meetings yesterday. You know, I like talking to the kid. You know, he just has that spark about him. He likes to play close to the line of scrimmage, likes to be that 8th man in the box. You know, likes to play like a linebacker in that safety body.
One timeout left for the Rams as they trail by 4. This is a huge 3rd down for the St. Louis defense. Carolina 7 of 13 in 3rd down conversions. And they go to that wide receiver formation, 3 wides in the game. Anthony Johnson in the backfield. Broughton in motion. Beuerlein to throw. Dumped it over the middle. It's intercepted by Roman Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's got nothing but grain, turf in front of him.
The ball's out. Mark Carrier stripped him of the ball. Mark Carrier on hustle stripped Roman Pfeiffer of that football.
And they're going to discuss this because if it went into the end zone, it's going to be a touchback.
Where did the ball come out? Where was it recovered? Here's Carrier over here. I mean, he's irate. It's a great hustle play.
Johnny Greer.
That's the touchback.
Unbelievable. The Rams had a chance to take the lead.
Down. You're going to see Roman Pfeiffer right here, right into the passing lane. Beuerlein never saw him. Now the race is on. You see Rob Baldinger coming, number 79. And Carrier right there strips the ball. Now it's loose. Here's Carrier right here. Strips this ball.
Yeah, but Garcia's going to come up with it right here. Frank Garcia gets it.
By an offensive lineman right there.
Frank Garcia actually picked that ball up.
There he is. And that's right, Ray. He recovered in the end zone for the touchback.
Well, I think he had it before he went in the end zone. His momentum carried him into the end zone. It actually should be Carolina's ball there at the 2 or the 1. They're going to give him the touchback. So it's a 15-yard loss for Carolina, but it's a 1st down.
What a turnaround here by the Carolina Panthers, all on their hustle. I mean, give Frank Garcia and Mark Carrier game balls. Nobody quit here on the Carolina Panthers, and for a 1-9 team to show this kind of hustle, not only by Carrier, but by offensive linemen. And he has the ball in his hands right there. You know, he ended up touching his knees in the end zone, Ray, which would have been a touchback.
The Rams use their final timeouts.
Frank Garcia, you know, who's played some center this year and prefers center with all the injuries, he's moved to guard. And that was some hustle, not to give up on that play. You know, put the track shoes on and chase that ball down. And then as an offensive lineman, to be able to come up with it.
Unbelievable play for the Carolina Panthers, a hustle play. And those are the kind of plays that they've been missing to really win a ball game at the end.
And not only that, Ray, but those are the kind of plays that you don't normally see from 1-9 teams. No, but this isn't, I think this isn't a 1-9 team.
2nd down and 7. And the whistle stops the play before it starts as the flag is down.
Ball start prior to the snap. Number 84, offense. Still 2nd down.
Luther Broughton, the tight end, in for the injured Wesley Walls, got an early start.
And they've missed Walls here in the 2nd half. You know, out with that that knee problem that he went into the training room for right before the halftime.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the contest. The Rams without any timeouts left. They can't allow Carolina to get a 1st down. Ray Agnew doesn't allow Fred Lane to get anything. And this will take it down to the 2-minute warning. And it'll bring up a huge 3rd down. And the Rams will have a chance to stop Carolina and get the football back.
Well, they did that just a couple plays ago. They got the interception. They got the big play that, you know, that they've been missing. The 13th interception of the year. Pfeiffer just 2 yards from pay dirt. Great hustle by Mark Carrier, though, to save that touchdown.
And that is the 2-minute warning. Carolina Panthers holding on 24-20 over the St. Louis Rams. Third down and 12 for Carolina. 2 minutes left. The Rams with no timeouts. The dilemma: do you run or pass and take the risk of stopping the clock?
I think you run the football here, Ray, and run the clock down and then punt it. You got a rookie left tackle in there right now. You just threw an interception the last pass. I think you play it safe.
And they do. Fred Lane off to the right side. Kevin Carter gets him down after a gain of 2. But Carolina will have to punt the football.
Yeah, they'll run this clock now. They'll run, you know, all the time down to the penalty right here. They'll run those 25 seconds off. That's Eddie Kennison. They'll run one back this year against Minnesota for 71 yards.
Carolina may even use a timeout and save themselves the 5 yards. Walter will punt it. The high short kick goes out of bounds. That's a terrible kick, and the Rams are going to have excellent field position at Carolina's 40-yard line.
They gave him life. That was a shank.
A 19-yard punt. Today's game is being produced by Pete Macheska, directed by Michael Frank. The associate director is Barry Landis. The broadcast associate, Big E Eric Billigmeyer. The technical producer, Dan Rotante. The technical director, Rick Tugman. Our audio mixer is Paul Kelly. The studio was produced by Nancy Bernstein and directed by Peter Bleckner. The senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And our spotter today is Kimball Hot Rice Bergman.
Kimball with a big appetite the other night, and Bono has taken his team on 4 scores here. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. They need a touchdown 40 yards away.
1st and 10 from the 40. Bono. He'll be sacked. Kevin Green finally got to him. The 14th sack of the year for Kevin Green.
We haven't heard a lot from Kevin Green today because he's been in pass coverage a lot of the day. Hasn't been coming, but that time beat Wayne Gandy for the 14th sack of the year.
Loss of 2. 2nd and 12. Bono looks over the middle, throws it behind his tight end, or actually that's Ricky Prohl he was looking for.
And he felt the heat of Kevin Green coming off the corner. Man, what a pro Kevin Green is. Never stops that motor. And what I like about Kevin Green, always has his eyes on the target. You know, always keeps the quarterback in front of him. And he's relentless. Nothing fancy about it.
He keeps chopping wood, as he said the other day. Green grew up about 10 minutes from here at Granite City South High School across the river in Illinois. 3rd down and 12. Bono sends them all out. Looks over the middle, and he hooks up to J.T. Thomas. 1st down for the Rams. They're alive.
That ball didn't have a lot of mustard on it. It didn't need to. J.T. Thomas was so wide open as the Panthers played coverage. Prevent defense.
Bono will go again. Looking in the end zone. Overthrows.
Wow, a lot of contact on that play.
Looking for Thomas again, and
that was just a hat that flew out of his hands. Yeah, the fans are calling for the interference penalty.
22 seconds left. This is excellent coverage.
Yeah, there's just 2 players going for the ball. Lenny McGill right there on the coverage. McGill right for him. Never turns his head. All he did was put his arm out when Akeem put his arms out.
22 seconds left. And the Carolina Panthers will take a timeout.
There's Green talking to his counterpart, Wayne Gandy. And a lot of blown leads for Carolina in the second half this year. New Orleans, Dallas, Tampa, San Francisco, none of those teams with losing records. And all collapses. And what you're seeing is, this year they've lost 7 games by a combined 33 points. In every ball game.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time putting those horns on the face this morning, and he's looking for one play down here that he can celebrate after the game.
When these teams met last season, the Rams had 4 chances to score at the end of the game from inside the 5. They came up short. Carolina hung on for a 16-10 win. We'll see how this plays out. 22 seconds left in the ball game. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Steve Bono with 3 wide receivers. Dumps it over the middle to Anthony Lee. Can't hang on to it.
Yeah, it's probably better that he dropped it too. Michael Barrow was zeroing in on him.
This is the last time these teams met, and here's the 4 tries. Mark Rippon trying to get it into the end zone. Gerald Moore giving it a couple of shots. Then on 4th down, Rippon gets it knocked away.
Yeah, and Bono was brought in here from Green Bay this offseason to replace Mark Rippon, who retired.
3rd down and 10. Bono to the end zone. Overthrown, almost picked off. Eric Davis had his hands on it. Trying to find Ricky Prohl. And it is now 4th down and 10. The last gasp for the Rams.
Hanging in that pocket there, getting good time to go down the field. You're going to see Prohl in the middle against Eric Davis. Just going to run right to the post, and Davis doesn't let him get there clean as he cuts him off in his tracks. Dom Capers wants to talk about it here.
Dom Capers uses his 2nd timeout.
With the collapses they've had in the second half here, they want to make sure here, Ray. And you were here week 2 with the Rams as they tried to win that game right down on the goal line here against Buffalo. Came up short. Tony Banks trying to get in over that goal line, didn't get the ball over.
Yeah, and that was a heartbreaker, and he did redeem himself against Buffalo the following week. Coming up next, for those of you on the West Coast, except for those of you on the West Coast, it's Fox's Big Splash Sunday. Homer's friend, is he in hot water? Find out on an all-new Simpsons. Then is a long kiss cheating? Find out on a brand new That 70s show. Plus, it's the moment you've waited for on the X-Files. The Big Splash Sunday starts tonight with the world's funniest at 7, 6 Central. 12 seconds left. 4th down and 10.
Now, you got 2 choices here, Ray. You go right to the end zone like they did like that last time with Prohl, or you go to the sidelines. And if you go to the sidelines, you got to get the 10 yards, and you got to make sure you get out of bounds and give yourself one more chance.
Henley and Lee in the backfield for Steve Bono. 3 wide receivers in the set. Bono. He's got room to run for it if he wants it. He'll throw it to Amp Lee. Lee catches it and gets out of bounds with 5 seconds left and a 1st down. The Rams will have another shot.
Great presence by Amp Lee right there. And also a great ability by Steve Bono not to cross the line of scrimmage when he steps up to scramble right there. Stay behind the line, and
wow,
great presence right there by Lee to get that ball out of bounds. Mind you, he had a broken hand 2 weeks ago, and those hands got underneath the ball, took it right off the carpet.
5 seconds left. The Rams need to get in the end zone, or this will be over. Bono. Ampley can't hang on to it. They have 1 more shot. Or do they?
Time is off.
It's over. Final play of the game, incomplete. The Carolina Panthers hang on for their 2nd win of the year.
And I think that really sums up the Rams season so far this year. Unable to make a play, offense or defense, when they have to win a game. Now you got to take this shot into the end zone. He throws underneath to Amp Lee, but that's exactly what the Panthers want him to do. As the force from the secondary. Here comes Lenny McGill and Michael Barrow. We're going to close in on him anyways.
You look at the time clock on the right hand of your screen. He had a second left, I believe. Looks like they should have had another shot.
Well, it's still on there too, Ray.
You'd think with a home clock guy you could get another shot.
Well, he never had his eyes on that ball. All he was thinking about was the goal line.
Carolina over St. Louis 24-20. We'll be back.